Hello, welcome to the MyConnXion Buyer Training Webinar. We will be discussing what MyConnXion is, MyConnXion helps suppliers and buyers. You'll be able to see some new and improved functionality and screens around signing up, logging in, having a company profile with some new company edit widgets and a new profile badge completion option with the ability to view your company on MyConnXion in kind of a new and exciting way. You'll have the ability to share your profile and track who is viewing your profile, and then make specific pieces of information public and private within your profile depending on what you'd like to share. Also, there's a new wonderful feature called My Network and My Clients, and I'll let you know how that's going to affect your suppliers that are on the system, as well as how you interact on the system as well. We also have an in-system guidance, a walkthrough, which is powered by WalkMe. So let's start talking about what MyConnXion is and why we created it. So MyConnXion empowers suppliers and buyers to create, edit, and maintain their profiles all in one place. The purpose of this is so they can reach out to anybody, whether it's a buyer, supplier that's on the Connexus platform, or a non-user on the Connexus platform. And you can do it anytime, anywhere in the world, and the purpose of it is to maximize business growth. So why did Connexus create MyConnXion? We wanted to make connecting suppliers and buyers easier than ever before. We want to really be innovative and make sure that you interact with your suppliers on the platform, you do so in a much more efficient manner, and there's some things that are put in place that are going to allow for your interactions to be just that much better. With MyConnXion, you're able to create and maintain your company profile in one place and share with anybody at any time. And you'll have that with an easy profile creation and expanded company and industry attribute section. I've mentioned that you'll have the ability to mark what's public and private in your profile. Your suppliers will have that availability to them as well. And they'll be able to also track who's viewing their profile once they send that out. If you choose to share your profile with other businesses as well, you'll have the same functionality. It's really nice. We want to make it easier to navigate. We want to make this more straightforward and have a simplified experience to create efficiencies for you in setting up your profile and utilizing a real-time in-system guidance process that we have. Created the ability for you to have a two-factor authentication set up as well. So this is the ability for you to have a more secure form of logging in. After you put in your username and password, which is a general process on the My Supplier Network environment, you'll have the ability to enable the two-factor authentication method where you'll be able to receive either an email, a text message, or a phone call with a code for you to input. Really help to verify that you're the user that is logging in, and it's an additional control to make sure that no outside users are trying to log in, should they have gotten any access based on how they might have done, interacted on the system. So the point is that we want to make sure that we are being as secure as possible with your information and with your profile. That's very important. We also have an enhanced functionality to validate the company settings and users with the ability to create permission groups on here that we've not had before. This is going to give you the ability to allow people to, go as deep as they want and get as engaged as they'd like to with particular products that you purchased, to interact with your suppliers, and you can give them access rights all the way up to being an administrator, but you can also give them restrictions all the way down to being a basic user, where it's really just a view-only functionality on the MyConnXion environment. MyConnXion is our foundation for future planned innovations. We are going to be having additional rollouts after this first rollout. I will mention that your portal has your company name mysuppliernetwork.com in the current environment. of August 29th of 2018, all of your suppliernetwork.com URLs will be migrated over to MyConnXion.com. You'll see at the top left, MyConnXion is spelled out there for you, MyConnX as an X-ray, ION. You'll have the URL migrated over to MyConnXion. I encourage you to, change if you have in your favorites what your kind of go-to URL is, because we want to make sure that you get into the right place. Now, if you're still logging into mysuppliernetwork.com for a little while, you're going to be directed over to myconnexion.com, but we really want to help you just get acclimated to this new MyConnXion URL. And this is an enhancement to the current system that we have. So the way that you put out your reporting obligations to your prime suppliers and the way that they report to you is all going to be the same. The dashboard is still there. The way you post out bid opportunities and how that gets communicated across the Connexus environment through the dashboard, that all stays the same. But there are additional enhancements that we have here for you, and I'm going to go ahead and briefly share with you what some of those things are and how it's going to benefit you as well as your suppliers that you work with. So now, and you're able, this is the basic dashboard view for a supplier. Before, you were able to see that a supplier had a specific profile completion percentage. Maybe that was a gauge for you as to, what type of business they are, maybe giving you more color onto, who they are in the organization. Well, we've removed that profile completion percentage, and we've replaced it with a profile badging system. Badging system is very exciting because it's a more clear identifier for you as to how much information each of these suppliers have in their profile. The benefit to you is that this is really like their resume to you. They get to show off to you who they are. If you're a buyer and a supplier on our platform, I would encourage you to also complete your profile as fully as you possibly can, because there are some things that we brought in here that are going to allow you to engage with other buyers on our platform as well as other suppliers, being able to source for them and create a network of businesses that you can engage with in ways that you never have before. So what to do is start out by showing you the Edit Company Profile section so you can build that profile out to its highest possible level. What will happen is you will be brought to the Company Edit Overview page when you initially get logged in. And you'll see that our badging system is here on the central part of the page, and then there are descriptors on the right part of the page here, letting you know what you need to get to the next badge level. These badge levels are important because we want to make sure, levels 1 through 5, we want to make sure that, encouraging, suppliers to fill out their information. Benefits to you on this, you get updated contact information. Some of these fields are required fields, so as they migrate over to the system, some of this information will have to be put in, and everybody will be a part of MyConnXion, and will begin at level 1 at minimum once they get in here. This is a way for us to capture more updated information for you as a buyer, on a supplier that you are doing business with. You're able to utilize this information, step back in-house and update your information in your system, or, if you're using the Connexus environment as your vendor management system, all that's here for you in one place. We want to make sure that we keep this all in one place for you. So that's how you choose to use this. I'd strongly encourage you to reach out to your prime suppliers, reach out to your suppliers that are not primes, have them come in here and update this information and get to that badge level 5. This is going to be a wonderful way for you to have all their information and get a better idea of who your suppliers are, and this might even help you source and vet for who you want to do business with and who you want to award a contract to. The file completion option for the badging system, as I mentioned, goes from level 1 through 5, and to level 2, the system's already telling me right here that I need to input a website. To do that, I want to demonstrate for you what a walkthrough is. You really use this as well as your suppliers, and walkthroughs really just help you go through the system in a much more efficient manner. So there's no like clicking around like, okay, where do I need to put this? Where does this go? Why is this being asked? Like, we really make it as obvious to you as possible by using these walkthroughs. I can do a partial search here for, I need to put in websites. I can do a partial word search. It'll start bringing up what walkthrough I need to get involved with. Or I use the scroll function, but I do want to select websites here and automatically be prompted with a message telling me that I need to click the websites tab and a caret that is going to indicate to me where to select. If I want to add any additional websites. So I don't currently have a website, so it would be obvious that I would want to do that now. I'll go ahead and list this as main site, and you'll see as soon as I get done typing, walkthrough is going to tell me the next step that I need to go over and complete. The test company right now is Ben Rogers Chicken. You can see that on the top left part of the page. I've just created this, URL that is going to suffice for I want to enter this in, but your companies, when they put it in, they're instructed to put in their actual URL so we can make sure that we capture that correct information for you. Now, asking me if I want to add any more websites. I don't have any other websites to add, but I would like to make this a primary company website for myself. So check that box, and if I don't have any other websites, I can select next. And then it'll tell me to update my company. When I do, I will then be leveled up to level 2. This is exciting because we want to kind of have a confetti party to celebrate your suppliers putting in more information. This is going to encourage them to complete their profile more and more. It's going to benefit you so much because, like I said, having that updated information is going to be huge. Also, if you update your profile as you go through levels 1 through level 5, you'll also be able to join in the celebration of getting your profile completed in its most fully, complete way. If I were to stop the confetti from coming down on the screen, I can click anywhere out of it. I'll show you that you're level 2. We also have the ability for your suppliers as well as yourself to list out whether they are a buyer or supplier or both. The logo is really important. You as a buyer, you should have a company logo already on your portal. I would encourage you to upload one, but we have instructed all of your suppliers to upload logos as well. This is important because when we go to the environment of MyConnXion, the company view page, the logo is sort of the entryway to get onto the connection company profile page. You'll have the ability to put in a company description. You can now put in a mission and value statement. Capability statements can go in there. You can list out specialties that you have as an organization too. So let's say that I have a specialty in, it's a chicken company. Let's say I also do burgers as well. I can go ahead and put in burgers, upload here. It's different than makes code or UNSPSC code because this is a way for you to just, in free text form, say what you specialize in. Founding dates, whether your company is diverse or not, and if you're a minority-owned business, you can list out what ethnicity your company is. Company structure, whether it's a corporation, LLC, partnership, S Corp, so on and so forth. Employee counts in here, asset and revenue information can be in here. And for that owner profiles, you can list whether your company is publicly held or privately held. You can create a profile for your owner. Now, your owner doesn't need to be a user on the platform, but if you want to put owner information on here, you absolutely can. They don't need to be, signed up as a user to get, have their information available on here, and you can really provide more information about your company. Your suppliers can provide more information about their company, about their ownership. The organization can put in references, about doing business with you if you'd like to put in references from other companies you might engage with. But your suppliers can also do that too. So if you wanted to, reach out to some of the references to your suppliers and see, well, how is it working with ABC company? You're welcome to do that should they make that information available to you. We have a lot of new address fields now. So we have a company headquarters section, physical address, mailing address, billing address, so on and so forth. All of the addresses are now bounced up against the United States Postal Service. So this is, again, our effort to make sure that the information we're capturing is accurate to the best of our ability. But I don't have anything in for the mailing address, and I might not want to put in all those fields manually from, by creating an address. I can certainly do so by clicking this button and selecting the country that I'm working in and all the information that is required for address. KonnXion supports 126 different countries and territories across the world, so we do want to be inclusive of all of those regions. But let's say I already have that address in my company headquarters or my physical address section. I can use this clone feature now, which is brand new. You can clone existing addresses that you've already inputted. Select this, and here I can update my company. And there might be an error. That red drop-down disclaimer will let me know some of the things that I need to fix to make it more valid. This is a great control to have in place because it will help when your suppliers upload their information. It'll help them decide, what information do I need to put in to make sure that this is captured correctly. So I'm happy you were able to see that. But you correct their information, a drop-down disclaimer will appear letting them know that their address has been successfully saved. Additionally, capture U.S. domestic phone numbers as well as international phone numbers here. So pretty self-explanatory. We've already gone through what it looks like to update your website. We have always captured NAICS codes on the My Supplier Network environment, but we now have the ability to capture UNSPSC codes. They're more universally accepted commodity codes. If you don't know what your UNSPSC code is, there is a mapping tree to help you figure that out. You can also do a word search for the type of company your organization is, and it can find your UNSPSC code for you. You'll just want to select that box and press Done. Your suppliers have been instructed to do this as well, should they choose to upload their UNSPSC code commodity information. The Global Marketplace section is going to replace our old NSA data section. So this is going to be a place for you to provide where your company does, provides its products and services. So if you want to get noticed by other organizations, even if you're a buyer on our platform, if another buyer wants to engage with you and have you be a supplier of theirs, this is a place for you to put in where you do business, and where you provide your products and services. We have a global reach on this as well, so if you wanted to add additional marketplaces, you can do that. Select, what country you do business within, and then what state, province, or region you actually do that business. If you're out of the United States, this box will be a free text form. If you select United States, you'll have a drop-down listing of all the state choices for you to put in here. You can select multiple state options within the United States. This is a way for folks to notice you a little bit better where you provide your products and services. The flip side of that is going to be the sourcing industry section. So sourcing industries is going to make it easier for you to find the right suppliers for you. This is really, really wonderful for you to have access to because you can search, based on the commodity types that your suppliers have put in here, and even suppliers that you don't do business with. If they put their commodity types in here, whether they be NAICS codes or UNSPSC codes, this is a way for you to now start to navigate through the system how to identify suppliers that might be right for you. Ability to hold many more certifications than we've had in the past. We always really wanted to host, the ability for you to put your diversity certifications in here, but now we hold environmental certifications, whether it's LEED or USDA, B Corps, Business Bureau, those things, risk and compliance, if you have any certificates around that, IT, cybersecurity, certificates of insurance, quality insurance, or quality certificates, whether they be ISOs, things of that nature, and types of certifications, all of that can be in here in one place, and you can upload as many certificates as you'd like. We now ask for suppliers to show off to you and you to show off to other folks on our platform by uploading patent information, honors and awards, volunteer experience. This is a way for you to create that resume of your business to engage with other businesses that you may not have had access to before. Your suppliers have the same ability to do the same, and they really want to be able to, to show off who they are to you and gain your business. So allow that option for them to upload their accomplishments. Resources is just a section for you to upload any additional resource, supplemental documents, trade certifications, marketing collateral, any additional things here that you'd like to put in as a resource can be housed here. Also a section for notification contacts. So let's say there's one person in your organization that might deal with, your tier tracker product that you have. And there's another person in the organization that might be responsible for managing opportunities that you put out there. If that person in the organization to receive notifications specifically to them, if a product's listed out based on what you have purchased, as you saw earlier on the dashboard, this is a test company, so there are no products in this, but if you have products that are on here that you purchased, they'll be listed out here, and you can select who's getting an update about what notification about what products and services that you purchase from MyConnXion. It'll help them better manage that product themselves. So I would encourage you to use this notification contact section. The ability for public and private is really, really great. It's probably the thing that I'm most excited to share with you because suppliers and buyers alike are able to share their profile with anybody they want, whether it's on the MyConnXion environment or outside of the MyConnXion environment. You're able to do that by utilizing in this Edit Company Profile section the profile sharing feature, being able to enable or disable that. Now, in enabling that, you will be able to choose what you make public and what you make private. So if you want people to see, or if your suppliers want people to see what diversity category they are in, what commodity codes they work within, what certifications they might have, what resources that you may be available, all that can be in here. And let's say you want to keep assets in your revenue private because you're a privately held company or you just choose not to share that information. You can keep that private and nobody will have access to it at all from when you share that information out there. Company contact, and also if you're involved in our risk scorecard program, all of that information can be chosen as public or private. Now, I'm not going to save this because I do want to show you on the company profile section the difference of what it would look like without being able to share as opposed to what it will look like when you do share. I also want to mention that if your company has more than one email domain, you can go ahead and put that in here. So, let's say if your company is, this Benny Rogers Chicken Company, and, at the infancy of their organization, the extension for their email domain may have been at bennyschicken.com. I could have been like Andrew at bennyschicken.com. He would have logged in using that email and password, but let's say we're at a new phase of the company and you've migrated to a different email domain, and now we have Jill at BennyRogersChicken.com. Same company, just different domain within the same organization. You can add that in here. And when Jill at BennyRogersChicken.com, registers for the first time, her email domain will be recognized with what you've put on here as an acceptable email domain and be automatically brought into your company. This will reduce the possibility of us having duplicates in the system. So this is a place for us to help merge your information and mitigate the possibility of anybody creating duplicates in the system just out of the unawareness of knowing how the system works. This will guide them in there kind of proactively. This is also a place where you can enable or disable your two-factor authentication method. If I didn't mention earlier, the methods of receiving the two-factor authentication as that more secure way to log in, the methods are, email, phone, and text. If you choose the text message option, standard data rates and text messaging rates may apply based on your plan with your mobile carrier, so just be aware of that. User management tab, very important, specifically to the buyers that are using our platform because they put company contacts on here that may not actually need to be users on the platform. So we put Bob Jones in here as an account director, and he's responsible for RFPs and business development. But maybe we don't want Bob to actually get into the system We just want people to email Bob if they have questions about RFPs and business development. You can create that email here, but you can supply that email for Bob there, and then if you choose to share your company contacts based on the public and private fields that I just showed you, well, people can go ahead and actively reach out to Bob through emails. If you have these company contacts be users, you're more than welcome to do that, and I'll show you how you're able to manage your company users. All these folks are people that have registered on the platform with an email address and a password. They have access to get into the system, and they're able to do so anytime that they like. You can also send invitations to other internal users within your company here. Using this send invitation box, you just input their email address after you select send invitation. It will shoot out that invitation to them from the system, and they'll be able to just be brought in invitation that you've sent out to them. Now, if you want to restrict how people interact on your portal, you can do that in a new exciting way using the user permissions section. Now, I currently have user permissions on the My Supplier Network environment, but we built in a new user permission that's really exciting. It's our basic user option. Administrator here, administrator is kind of that overarching head person in charge that kind of manages everything. They have access to kind of the whole environment. Basic user option is really a view-only option. So if you have users on your company that you just want to be able to view things on MyConnXion and not make edits, things you can select them to be a basic user, and when you select basic user, any of these can add, remove as a basic user, however you'd like to do it. New permission group, so if you want, I create chicken fryers group here. If you want, you can create other permission groups. Obviously, that chicken fryers is relevant to the name of the business, but you can really name it whatever you want. The company edit page here, excuse me, I'm going to go back to your dashboard here, and I'm going to show you now I've gone through how to edit your profile, what it looks like to actually be on the dashboard. Onto the dashboard, these dashes below your logo will signify what level of the badge that you are in, and as you view other company profiles, what your profile will look like first, and then how you're able to view other profiles. So this is MyConnXion company profile page. These specialties that we put in are on the left with addresses, phone numbers, websites, primary contact info, information to contacts, overview, financials, things of that nature. All that's on here, and those are internal views. The mic is really wonderful for your suppliers because your suppliers now have sort of a one-stop shop to be able to access all of the buyer portals that they are responsible for getting, spend submitted to or being engaged with in other manners. So if a supplier reports to multiple buying organizations, or you as a buyer also report to an additional buyer, a list of all of the portals that you are attached to will be on this My Client list. There are live links for you to go to their portals and begin putting in your spend. You can do that all from one place, and you no longer now have to, and your suppliers will no longer have to log out, log back in to a new portal, things of that nature. It can be all under one place. Your badge level will be over here. At this My Network section here. This is probably one of the most exciting features to the enhancement that we've created here through MyConnXion. I can either get into that going to the Go to My Network section up here, or using this link down here to My Network. This is exciting because, if you want to source for companies and you don't know whether they're on our system or not, you're able to do that utilizing the Search Companies feature here. And the whole purpose of My Network is to grow your network of businesses. Is to have you engage with suppliers that you may not have had access to in the past. It's for suppliers to engage with you if they may not have had visibility to you in the past as well. You will have the controls in your hand as to whether you accept or reject their invitation to be a part of your network. And there might be a supplier that you would like to utilize and you didn't know that they were even in existence, and if they send an invitation to you to be a part of your network, you can start engaging with them. And it's a really exciting way that we're changing the way people do business. We want to make sure that we include this for you because if you build this into your rhythm of how you do business, it can impact how successful you can be depending on how you use it. Now, if I want to add somebody to my network, I can do a name search through here. Go ahead and search for a company called Lion Enterprise. Now, this is for me to see if Lion Enterprise might be on here. Maybe I heard about Lion Enterprise through a trade show or, a conference, something like that. Go ahead and search for Lion Enterprise, and I'll see that they're right here. There's a link to their profile if I'd like to view a little bit about who they are from a basic perspective with commodity information, and let's say I like their business and what they do. Go ahead and add them to my network, and you'll see I have a green drop-down message letting me know that they've been invited to my network. Once they're invited to the network, an example of what it'll look like on their end, once you send over that request or once a supplier sends a request from you, the person who is being requested to join the network will get a pending network invite right here. It's a pending invite because it shows pending invite at the bottom, and I have the ability to either accept that invite or reject that invite. If I accept it, I'm in their network, they're in my network. We've now started creating an established relationship. You have the ability to accept or reject them after you've reviewed their profile and seen whether they fit within your business model or not. And then from there, they'll get a notification saying that either you've accepted them. If you've rejected them, I don't believe they get a notification of that, but they will be removed from their network option below. I'll show you how that works. For currently in your network, you'll see that the companies are fully colored in. Once you've been brought into their network, they've been brought into yours. You've listed a primary user, you can automatically start sending messages to each other and start communicating to each other, on the Connexus inbox environment. Welcome to click into their companies and view their profiles and see what they have if you'd like. These are live links. Also coming down here, you'll notice that Lion Enterprise, I've invited them into my network, but they haven't accepted yet. You'll be able to tell that because you'll see pending invite is listed underneath Lion Enterprise, but also the coloring of that, of that selection is sort of shaded out as opposed to being fully colored in. If it is that a supplier sent to you or that you may have sent to somebody else in the MyConnXion environment, it's been sitting out there for a while, or maybe that you accidentally ask them to be in your network and you want to remove them from your network. Maybe you want to clean this up if the list has gotten longer and longer and longer. You can hover over it, it will color in, and you're able to remove them from your network. This is what MyConnXion is all about. As the name suggests, MyConnXion, we want to make connecting to buyers and suppliers much easier. We want to be able to have you engage with folks in ways that you never have before. And I want you to be able to reap the benefits of growing business utilizing this tool. I will go into the edit company, the company profile view. And up here we have a go to my network or upgrade to Connexus Platinum section. But this is normally where the profile sharing button would be. But as you remember, I did not show you or enable the profile sharing. I didn't save that option when we were in the edit company profile section because I wanted to show you the difference of what it looked like being able to share and what's not able to share. This is what it would look like not having that sharing capability. If I go to the dashboard, select edit company profile, down to the public and private fields option, enable the ability to share my profile and make sure that what I want public is made available and what I want private is kept private to myself. I'll select edit company. It will let me know that everything has been successfully updated. I'll go back into the dashboard. I will to the company view again through the logo. and you'll see that I have a share profile selection option. When I do this, I can share my profile. I want to mention that this link that you'll see there is a test link. It is not a live link, but you know, MyConnXion.com will be the live link, as I mentioned. As a reminder, MyConnXion.com goes live on August 29th of 2018. If you are currently on the My Supplier Network environment, all of your information will be migrated over to MyConnXion.com. You will not need to re-register, reset up anything. As I've shown you before, the dashboard looks the same. So here, you will see that you have the opportunity to copy this to a clipboard, and if you as a buying organization want to share this out in press releases, blogs, email campaigns, social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, any of that, all can be sent out, and people who, whether they're used on MyConnXion or not, access to view your profile with what you've made public, and they can even get engaged with MyConnXion as well. They can register on here and start connecting with you, and start interacting with yourself, and do business with one another. This is part of creating a community of folks. We think community is very important here at Connexus, and we're showing that to you through MyConnXion, this enhancement that's been made available to you. There's not a fee for MyConnXion. Everybody's getting migrated over to it. It's free for you to utilize, and we just want to make sure that what we're providing you is a better way to do business. The thing I want to show you is when you go back to your dashboard, you can see based on the shares that you've made, how many people have viewed your profile. So I shared my profile out to people. This example shows that 7 people have viewed my profile, and that number is comprised of Connexus internal folks as well as companies that have clicked on the link that you've shared. So able to let suppliers know how effective they are in sharing their profile, and it might encourage them to complete more information and make it more up to date. For you buyers, this is great because you'll be able to see if you decide to share your profile, who's interested and take a look at you. There will be the ability for you to have a list view of who has looked at your profile as well. So really exciting things here for you. We're really excited for you to get engaged with this, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you're welcome to go ahead and reach out to us. I'm going to stop sharing the screen and switch over to our screen to give you our contact information. Should you have any questions about MyConnXion? Give me 1 minute, please. So now I'm going to give you contact information on anything support related that you might need, give you additional pieces of information based on how to interact on MyConnXion, how your suppliers are going to interact on MyConnXion, whether it's a prime supplier or a general supplier. You can always report at Connexus.com. If you have a portal as well and you have a specialized support email that you want to utilize too, you can go ahead and do that on your portal. Once you log in, if you don't know what your support email is specifically to your company, if you are a buyer in our organization, it's always going to be found at the bottom right of every page, bottom right-hand side of every page. You're also able to reach out to us at area code 513-204-2873, option 1. A team member will be available to you by phone Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This concludes our demonstration. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to you getting involved with MyConnXion. We thank you so much for taking the opportunity to review this training. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks so much, and have a great day.